Hello, and thank you for attending the Gemini Journey, Gemini AI meets HCM. Well, how useful can AI truly be for managing human resources? How can we make it really useful? And how can we make it real? I'm going to take you on a little bit of a journey. And I will actually be opening up for questions at the end of our presentation. So I'll probably be talking for about 20 minutes and then we will open up for questions. So thank you so much for attending. And my name is Gabriella, and I'll be taking you through this journey on AI meets HCM. So how will we use, or how could we use AI in our HCM solutions? Because how we actually operate, what we use when it comes to technology, how we view technology in our lives is quite different to what it was 5 years ago even. And when it comes to HR, it's really no longer good enough for an HR system to be merely a database that records information to print out more information. You've heard it. I just want a report on. I want to be able to generate a report. I want to get the data out of the system. Well, if we think about HR and we think about our employees, managers and senior managers today want to know the temperature of their organisation now. We live in a society where we are constantly managing our own lives digitally. And even those that previously would have not been connected by device seem to be well and truly using devices now. It's changed quite rapidly. It's true to say that many of our homes in our private life now have actually the very best in technologies, as opposed to, if you think sort of, depends how old you are here, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, you would go into the office to get that very best of technology. Now we appear to have it in our homes. Think about what we can do. Now I've got 4 points there on the screen. Think about how we use technology ourselves in our consumer environments. We can manage our bank accounts with having to go to a bank. We can manage our billing cycles and with some utilities without having to write a letter, make a phone call, go and stand behind a desk. We can set our wearable devices to tell us to move, to monitor our heart rate, to monitor our sleep patterns. We can turn our heat pump on our way home, or for some of us even ask Alexa to start the vacuum or turn the speakers on to our favourite radio station, and manage our lighting. So that connectivity and that using AI in our lives is actually happening right now. We're very used to it. It's kind of come in under the radar almost, and we almost don't know, didn't really realise the change. The question is, why on earth are we using this fantastic technology in our homes and yet in our offices it becomes so difficult? Why on earth in our office, in our places of work, do we not know how our employees are currently feeling, performing, or what they wish to achieve? It's about gauging things right now. And obviously with that observations of making sure that data still remains private, but allowing our employees also to have data ownership and using the technologies that we have today. It really is inevitable that AI would be used in HR systems. So AI into HR administration, what are those functions? How will it benefit? How will it improve the overall employee experience? And when will we be able to use that? Well, it is here. We are working on it. How? For Gemini, Gemini will be your business advisor. It will provide you proactively with insights about your employees and to your employees to add value to your relationships. So we won't have to generate those reports. We won't have to mine the data to find out the information about our employees. And I will be giving you some examples of that. But let's have a look first at the Gemini Lifecycle. So Gemini will manage the entire employee life cycle, from talent acquisition to evolution of your employees within your organisation, and to separation when the time is required. The starting point of a Gemini journey for you in your organisations, and we've got quite a different group of people online here, can be any point. Some of our customers have started this with simple position management, or a documented policy library, through to performance, developing careers and onboarding, and of course, payroll, if that's required too. So, welcome to Phil. Phil is the AI within Gemini. Phil is the business advisor that assists throughout that employee life cycle. Phil is the trusted advisor to give you information, the counsellor, which will help you through a process, the helper, which will help you navigate through Gemini, and the improver to make sure that you're getting the best out of Gemini for employees, managers, and HR people. So in computer science, the AI intelligence, which is sometimes called machine learning, is demonstrated by, I guess, a machine actually doing something that would normally be generated. Let's look at some specific examples in Gemini, some AI elements where Gemini will help us through the process, will guide us to ensuring our well-being in the work environment, and assist with those standard oops moments. This needs to be done, and it should have been done. So Gemini will help with that. For those of you who are movie buffs, we're not talking Blade Runner, Ex Machina, or Terminator, thankfully. We're actually talking about practical HR engagements, looking after employees, getting things done, and guiding you through that employee life cycle. So here's some examples. Yes, you'll still have traditional reporting, so a diversity report with metrics that you can pull in or pull out. Here's where it starts getting clever. Smart insights. Now, previously we might have talked about notifications. So if you think notifications, it's those things that you need that advanced knowledge about. Hey, here's a position without an employee. Would you like to recruit? As an example. Or your machine learning, which is about a prediction based on information that's gathered in the system and trends over time. And of course, machine learning, AI, becomes more intelligent the more you use it, the more data that it actually looks across. In this example here, it's where we've taken an HR manager on a journey to get a REM prediction about an employee. And that's example about a position without a employee and it, then providing you the opportunity to go through to the recruitment process. So the machine learning is suggesting that you may wish to recruit. You can put other smarts around there in terms of FTE numbers, etc. Here's another one from an HR perspective where you have a position that's up for expiry. It could be a contract on a fixed term expiry. It could be a work permit that's due for an expiry. And this reminder in the system that's popping up to say, do you want to extend this recruit? Or if you're an employee actually going on the learning journey, having a little bit of AI and gamification to go, here's what you've achieved, here's what you need to achieve. And the gamification is when you do achieve this, you get a coffee voucher, you get a fancy dinner. Where it becomes particularly smart is how we manage our talent. How do we manage our flight risk? And how do we ensure the next steps are achieved for our employees? So through having some really good learning in the system, here's our top 3 performers within Gemini. So being able to actually identify that talent and what the next steps for this talent is. So yes, okay, here's a view of my top 3 performers. Where it gets exciting is that Gemini can then say, here's your top 3 performers, but if you really want to develop Anne to become a manager, she still needs to do these things. So I haven't had to print out lots and lots of reports. I haven't had to mine across data. I haven't had to put pivot tables in. I've had this wonderful advice from the system to be able to say, here's how you can develop Anne into a manager. Then we have some static informed insights, which takes a lot of information within the system and then giving you some really good guidance about how your course process is going, how your learning is going across the organisation, what the feedback's been, how your people have enjoyed the course and how successful the course has been. So AI and technology, because of this rapid pace of it developing, and it is creating a huge amount of unpredictability in today's employees, you cannot easily in the HR environment draw from the past. Previously, there used to be, I guess, a really clear guidance around where people would develop and progress through an organisation. These days, though, employees actually want to go horizontally, want to try different roles. So it's not so much about leveraging the experience from the past in employees. So AI in the workplace can help with your employees, moving them in what they believe their direction might be for your organisation. Some practical examples, of course, is the leave management process. So we know that the uptake of mobility has been very, very slight in HR solutions. Well, Gemini has the ability through the AI framework to present information and tasks in a way that emphasises our fill as the person taking care of the process or the employee in the organisation. Now that's done by connecting the employee to all sorts of features. Here is the leave request. So why is this different? Because it's feeding the employee through the process in a voice-activated way and making the most of the fact that pretty much all our employees these days do have these types of devices. And here's where it gets really exciting, because it helps people that perhaps have, like me, I actually don't like texting. I don't like using a mobile because the space is too small. So this actually helps someone use the system a lot easier. And this could be the same for timesheets and such basic tasks. The social versus remote learning, and I guess it doesn't have to be learning, but anything in terms of a process in the organisation, it is changing. And I think the COVID experience that we're all just been through has been a classic example of the fact that people are working more often remotely. In this case, we've had to. And companies have to find ways of getting people to have that social interaction, to learn, to have peer-to-peer interaction, and creating online communities in a different way. If you have the right HR system, we can certainly assist with that. And if you think of our current experience with the pandemic, we now understand the value of those ad hoc and planned online check-ins. And it's fair to say now that AI can actually assist us in that way. So AI is only good, of course, when we're able to understand our people, understand our culture, our processes, how we work, what we do, what we want to do, providing a process to support our people in their own life cycle evolution. Providing the tools to let us do so is imperative, and there are incredible and amazing insights that we can offer as part of that journey. It's one of 3 things. AI is a component of that technology. It's also very more importantly about our people and our process, and then the technology that provides the journey. We know that the employee life cycle is a spider's web. So the traditional, and we know that those traditional approaches no longer work. Talent is attitudinal based, it's based on behaviours, values, and it simply is not a tick box exercise anymore. The older systems of tab, form, tick box, lots of information is way outdated. And people today want to move quickly, dynamically, and want to do things on systems quickly. They want it to be intuitive. They want to move across roles, add skill sets, branch out dynamically. So it's no longer that clear vertical climb. So the question is, how is your platform right now enabled to be able to have that happen and to secure and look after your talent and minimize the flight risk? So how will Gemini add to that journey, especially with regards to the AI journey that we're engaging on? Well, it is about organizations understanding how you engage with your people and truly understanding what motivates and desire and what their desires are in the organization. And probably a question is, do you distribute out an HR process for everyone to complete? Or do you really want to truly understand their motivations and engagements? And look, to be honest, you may actually do a combination of both. So I hope that gives you a little bit of an insight into how we'll be using AI and Gemini. It's a pretty exciting journey, and certainly we'd love to be able to share more. So feel free to now ask some questions. So I am going to open up for questions. And to do that, you can use either the question box in your webinar or raise your hand, and love to hear any questions you might have, and hopefully I'll be able to answer them. Where do I buy? I love the question. Feel free to contact our team at Fusion 5. If you are a customer, you can contact your account managers. And on one of my next slides, I have my contact details. So you are more than happy to contact me directly. Just, we do have some blogs on the Gemini website. So this is the link to the blog that this webinar was loosely based against. So feel free to read it, which is around Phil and Gemini and AI made really useful in terms of HR. And as I mentioned, we'll have more sessions coming soon. And these are my contact details. I am more than happy to answer any questions directly. And as we have some customers and some new people online, your account managers, either Daryl, Christine, or George, or any of the other Fusion 5 account managers, are certainly there to be able to help you. So thanks for attending, and I look forward to talking with you at the next session. And if we can help you any further, please contact me at either my email address or your account manager directly, and we will love to spend some additional time for you. Take care and have a great week. Bye now.